You can't market your business in the same way that you used to. We need to have more and more innovative ways of capturing and converting new customers. So how can we increase sales without spending an absolute fortune? And the answer is sales funnels. Now, GoHighLevel, which is my platform of choice, is a flexible platform that gives freelancers, entrepreneurs, agencies, business owners, and anyone in between the platform to be able to successfully market their business, sell products and services, build websites, and do all of your marketing all on one platform. And this video is going to be our starting point on discussing sales funnels. And the first thing we need to do with a new digital marketing strategy is create our website. Websites are really important because they're your turf. Any other platform like on social media, the rules can change. But with your website, you're in control of the content you push out, the emails that you capture, the audience that you market to. It's your platform and it's only beholden to your rules. And if you're an agency, these are services that you can actually offer to your customers as well without you having to hire a massive marketing team to deliver these kinds of results to your market. A website is the first step in creating leads and generating sales, and it's the starting point to branch out into other areas like copywriting, sales automation, email marketing, social media, and much more. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a really basic but good looking website in about half an hour. So I'm gonna log into GoHighLevel here. I've got my own version of the platform, and this is the dashboard that you can kind of see in front of you. And all I'm gonna do is move over to sites here on the left-hand side. And at the top here, you can see where it says websites. I'm gonna literally create a brand new website from scratch. We're gonna create a home page. We're gonna create a services page. We're gonna create a booking page so people can get in contact with you. We're gonna create an About Us page, which is often the second most visited page on a website. And we're also gonna add a little bit of a portfolio or a testimonial piece to help with authority and helping your customers build up trust with you. So the top right here, I'm gonna click brand new website. And here's the thing, we're gonna cheat a little bit. We're gonna use the template library. Now, I used to be really snobby about templates and website templates. They used to be pretty naff looking. However, GoHighLevel has got some killer looking websites. And as you can see here, there are so many different variations for different markets that you could go after. Now in our example, I'm gonna use fitness and health. So let's say we're gonna start a gym. We've actually got a few options inside here. We could go for yoga. We could even go for something like day spa or coaching, but they have actually got gym templates. So I'm gonna take a look at these templates, and they've got three basic ones. We've got one for a personal trainer, one for endurance-CrossFit, and X gym. We can even take a brief look at them just to see which ones we like. This one's kind of cool. It's like almost like a single column website, but not quite, but more for personal trainers. We've also got this one for endurance CrossFit. Now I do CrossFit. Do you know how you can tell if someone does CrossFit? Don't worry about it, they'll let you know. And this one's a little bit more like, okay? So you can choose the style, but here's what's interesting. When we go into this, I'm gonna show you how you can mix this up to match your brand and the feeling that you wanna push towards your customers. And in this particular case, I'm actually gonna go with this one. It's nice and simple. All I'm gonna do is click the little box here, get this template, and it loads it up. Now I'm from old school website design where I was using stuff like Dreamweaver and coding things from hand. I don't think I've got the book anymore, but I used to have like manuals of how to build pages and things like this. The fact that I can spin up a website in, what was that, 3 minutes or something is just mind-boggling to me. And frankly, the pages look pretty good. So we've got X Gym here. I'm gonna jump in here. It's worth noting as well that GoHighLevel has paid templates as well. So you can actually jump into the marketplace that they have and buy paid templates that might suit you better. But frankly, if you're wanting to get started and get started quickly, this is a really good place to start. So the first thing we're gonna look at is the home page. And as you can see here, I've got the home page up. I'm gonna click here on edit in this little yellow box. Now I can either edit it in this tab here, or I can open it in a new one. And when I click edit, it's literally gonna be a click and drag builder, which means that you don't need to know anything about coding. You don't need to know anything about dimensions or sizing or anything like that. All you're going to be doing is putting your stamp and your design ideas and your brand into it. Now, if you're an agency, you might want to have your own templates that you push towards your customers, which you can do. On a homepage here, look how simple this is for us to check out and change. The first thing that I'm going to want to do, the first thing that I like to do, is change the headline. This one here is no pain, no gain. For me, that's a little bit aggressive for the gym that I want to run, whereas I'm going to type in something else. So I'm going to use conquer yourself. Now you'll notice it's now gone on to, so I've changed ours to conquer yourself. Now you'll see the formatting's changed a little bit. That's not a problem. I can just double click it, highlight it, and go back to whatever I want it to look like. But you'll see that it's now gone to 2 lines. And if you don't want that, it's really simple. We're just going to come over to one of these other columns. This is a 3-column row. And I'm just going to click this and drag it over. And the same with this one until we've got it on one page. Now you can play around with this up until the point where you get it like kind of pixel perfect, and then you're basically done. So all we need to do now is throw in the copy into our page. Now I'm going to cover that in another video, but I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it was to do it, and you see it as someone else is going to see it. Now as we're scrolling down, there's a few other things. Like I said, I'm going to cover off kind of more of the details like images and copy and text and stuff like that and colors. But one of the things I wanted to show you was just how easy it is to create brand new sections. Let's say between the coaches and the testimonial section, I want to have an area where I can get people to book a call. Basically, I'm going to hover over the section that I want to put a section under, click the green plus button, and I'm going to say whether I want it full width or different. Now, full width means it goes across the entire screen. So if someone's got a wide screen, it's going to go all the way across. Wide, small, and medium are basically set widths in pixels. Now, again, you can change that later on, but for the sake of ease, I'm going to go with medium to make it nice and simple, and you can see it's smushed it into the middle and aligned it perfectly. That's what they call a section. And into sections, we add rows. Now, rows are where we have 1, 2, 3, or multiple columns. And again, you can delete them and add them afterwards. So if you've created one, you think, actually, I want 2 columns, not 3, you can either delete it or you can add them, not a problem. I'm gonna make it, again, really simple and have a 2-column row here. And then on the left-hand side, I'm gonna select some elements. We're gonna go into these in more details. We have everything from actually being able to take payments and one-click payments, menus, navigation bars, countdown timers, but in my particular case, at the moment, I just want to book in, have a little headline, and I'm going to double click this and say, book a free training session today worth $99. And I'm going to push that down there. And I'm going to add another element, in this case, a calendar. Now, the cool thing about GoHighLevel is all of your calendars are inside GoHighLevel. So you don't need to use Calendly or Book Like a Boss. It's all included inside the actual program or inside the platform, which is kind of awesome. So I'm going to select a calendar, book a call with me. And you can see here, we now have a calendar. And because of the way I've set up the calendar, which I'm sure I'll cover in another video, this basically means that people on the homepage can book a training session with me and we're done. So I'm going to click save. And our homepage is basically done, which is kind of insane to me that it took, what? Well, there's 11 minutes on my recorder, but maybe it was quicker than that after editing. Something else I want to cover as well is there's a difference between background images and foreground images. This one here in the background with the woman stretching, this is what we call a background image. Now, if I hover over where it's green and click on the green section, what I can do is scroll down here and it says BG image, it means background image. And I can click on this little button here and I can upload an image. Now the cool thing is I can even go into Unsplash or Pixabay and I can choose something royalty free. So let's look for CrossFit and just look how many images there are. And we can do this for literally anything. Unsplash is amazing. So if you run a photography website, type in photography. If you run something to do with pets, just type in pets, and it's got the images, right? So we're gonna go back to CrossFit, and let's choose this woman here pushing the sledge. And now we have a brand new image on the background. And there's some other cool things we can do as well. We can make them sticky, we can make them half fade. Stickiness basically means what happens to it if it's in the foreground and we scroll, so it doesn't make a huge difference on the background. But what we can do as well is have full center parallax, If I click parallax here and now scroll, you can see that it's kind of sticks behind it as you scroll down, which is kind of a cool look, I think. A few other things, we can change the colors, obviously. So let's say that our brand color is not one of these ones. We can add a custom one. And we can say gym color 1. And then choose, maybe it's this kind of teal color. Click add color, and then that changes. And we can go into all of our buttons and do the same. And it should save it then as like a standard color. Now, occasionally it'll be like you'll want to change some text and the color won't change across the board. Oh, that's a bold text color, sorry. There we go. Sometimes it requires a little bit of copying and pasting. There's some other stuff you can do as well. I don't want to get into that in this particular video. But what we can also do is take a look at things like bodybuilding. This is now a background image for that particular little block. Click this image here and let's type in CrossFit again. Oh no, not in my media, sorry, in Unsplash. There we go. And wait, here we go. And just like that. Now, here's an interesting thing. You can see it's all squashed up, so that's fine. What we're going to do is when it says fill 100% under image options, we're just going to put full center. And that's just going to make sure that it's not squashed. It happens depending on whatever the image is. You can just play around with that kind of stuff. And maybe you've got some photos of your team. So I'm going to look for trainer. Now in this particular case, it probably needs to be a square image. So I don't know if there are any square ones. I might just leave it as is rather than going through all of these. But basically, it's a super, super flexible piece of kit that you can change and edit however you want. And that is our homepage done. And so next up, let's create a services page. Now, sometimes I would click up here in the top right and this will just show me all of the pages in this particular website. However, I haven't done a very good job of naming these. And what I want to do is show you something that's quite cool as well. Let's exit out of this. And let's say that you looked at some of the other templates and you thought, actually, I kind of like that page from that template and I like that page from that template. Can I mix and match them? And the answer is basically yes. So what I've done is I have added another website, the endurance website. I'm going to come in here and let's say I really like the programs page. What I can do is at the top right here, click clone, and then I can say where I want to put it. So I'm going to say put it into XGym, add page to the website, and now when I go back to XGym, our programs is in there. I can just select this, call it programs and services. Update that page and click edit. Now, as I mentioned, we'll go over copying content later. Let's say you don't like this huge big block in here. That's not a problem. I can just highlight it, see the green border, and I can see it's this area. I'm just going to delete that whole thing. And what I am going to do is take all of this stuff here, the membership plans, which is really the useful bit, and I'm going to move that up. So I can either hover on the right-hand side here and click drag, and I can drag it up, or, and this is the way that I usually do it, I click the plus up icon like that. And that means that I don't have to kind of mess around and things sometimes don't get kind of higgledy-piggledy. It's a bit like editing in Microsoft Word sometimes, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to move this one up here as well to break it up a little bit, like this. Cool. Membership plans, what you get, welcome to CrossFit Endurance, successful stories, and a bunch of this kind of stuff. Cool. Now let's say that you only have 2 plans. Not a problem. Let's say that you have a premium one and a mid-tier one. That's no worries at all. I'm going to hover over a column. Columns are in purple at the moment at least. Click delete and you can see it just splits it immediately into 2. Let's say that you go, uh-oh, actually I do want to have 3 columns. That's not a problem. If you hover over the purple area and then at the top right where it's purple, hit the clone button and that'll just create another one. Now I am actually going to delete this one. This here is just a really simple, what I would call pricing feature. And I can come in here, edit them, and I'm going to say it's $95 a month. or a 1-year membership is 950 bucks. I'm going to highlight it and make it bold. Now remember, we also want our color to be specific. If I highlight this and come down, color means when there's no styling attached to it. Bold text color means when it's bold. So if I make this one normal and this one bold, you'll see that I can actually change the colors of them individually. Now, why you'd want to do that, I don't know. Let's add this color back in. Select that. You can see that this one's changed, but this one stays the same. So I'm going to change this one as well. Now there is actually a way, and I'll do this in another video, to have that across the entire site so that you only have to change the color once. I just wanted to show you how you can kind of go about this. Another kind of cool thing is the buttons. If we click this and go to button settings, first of all, jumping into themes gives us loads of examples. Let's say there's one that we think actually is pretty close. We just click this one here. And again, really simply, let's say that we want to change program to programs and memberships. Click save, problem solved. So that's our services page done. What do we do if we want to create a brand new page? That's pretty simple. I'm going to exit out of here because I'm going to want to create a booking page that's only that. Now we have got one here saying schedule, which is kind of something that we could use, but I'm actually going to add one from scratch. I'm going to click add new page. The name for the page is the bit that basically is at the top here of the tab. That's what appears to the customer. So for this one, I'm going to call it book a session. The path is the bit afterwards. So if I have, here we go, endurancetemplate.com/programs, that /, that's the path part. So I could call this book a session. Now, there's a lot of things about whether you should use hyphens or shouldn't use hyphens. I wouldn't worry about it too much. This is also the part where you can import it from ClickFunnels if you're using a ClickFunnels template as well. We're not, we're going to create it from scratch. I'm going to go create a new page and jump it in. Now, something that you might want to do is use an existing template. And this is why I like GoHighLevel so much, because it makes it just super, super simple. So what I'm going to want to do is click use existing, choose my website. We can do funnels. We'll do funnels at another point. The website in this particular case is XGym, and I'm going to choose programs and services, click import, and now that's basically going to clone it again, or I could do it completely brand new from scratch. The reason I like to clone it is because it means I get to use the same menus and any other features that I've copied over. So I'm going to click edit here. And there's a lot in here that I now don't want. So what I'm going to do is change this to book a session. I'm going to delete this bit here. I'm going to change this background image. Let's choose something nice and easy. I'm also going to make this a slightly different color. Can you see it's got now the background color? That's fine. Because what I need to do is change the opacity a little bit. Now if I click on the bottom here, background image opacity, if I click light fade, you'll see it goes slightly brighter. If I click heavy fade, it goes slightly darker. Now I might want to actually change this background color like that and change this color here to something dark. Oh, it's bold, isn't it? And it's an italic bold. There we go. Book a session. Okay. Now I'm going to delete a couple of these. I quite like this layout. We're going to steal this layout. We're going to delete that, keep the success stories and keep all of this. And again, what I'm going to do is delete this, delete this, delete this. And what I really like is just how easy I can add in elements. Click add element, calendar, and then select book a call. That's in there now. And I can change this to book your free training session, $95 value. And I'm going to delete this because this actual form will take care of all of that. Click save. Now here's something interesting that comes up, SEO metadata. This is important to do, I'll be honest. If you just want to get a website up and running, it's not the first thing that I would go to, but it is going to help with your SEO and your searchability. So I'm going to type in again the title. This is slightly different to the name, but this is what can also appear at the top here. So you can override that and say book a free training session. And it even gives you an example of what it will look like on Google. The description is book your free CrossFit endurance training session valued at 95, I think. There's a few keywords we can put in here. They're not going to make or break it, but again, it's all about adding it to it. It's all about lots and lots of signals as opposed to one big signal. So CrossFit, gym, I'm going to put Honiton because where I'm based, even though I put it as dollar values, free training, join a gym, that kind of stuff. If you want to put an author in, you can do. In this particular case, I'm going to put my name like this. And a social image is basically, if you share it on social media, if you share it on Facebook, what data does Facebook scrape to show in that thumbnail? And again, super basic. I don't even have to have any images already. I can go gym and select this one. And now that is what will basically turn up if my data is scraped and I appear on Google or if I appear on Facebook, which is kind of awesome. Update metadata. I'll click save again because old habits die hard. And now we've got a page where we can book a session. So as we're talking about internet marketing, you have to know the YouTube algorithm loves a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Have you tried using GoHighLevel? I'm absolutely in love with it. I can't get enough of it. What's your experience building websites? Are you an agency that builds websites for people already? Are you old school, going all the way back to Dreamweaver? Or are you doing it from scratch right now, learning how to use these new systems, which are so fast, and I love that more people have access to them? Every successful business has its own strategy, of course. Most of the time, we're trying to look for more revenue, and for agencies, revenue means getting more clients on board. If you want to learn and understand how you can deliver more work to clients at a better rate, faster and more profitably, and sell more of those services, then you should check out our channel, which you're on right now, and subscribe to sell your service. We teach digital marketing and sales funnels, and the tool that we use is GoHighLevel. I absolutely love it. I love the community, I love the training, I love how easy it is, I love how everything is in one platform. It's basically what I wish existed when I started my business. So let's look at another page now. Let's just take a gamble and see if we can find the About page. So this is kind of similar to it, the Coaches page. And again, we can make it really simple. We can go About Us. And maybe I've got this huge wall of text, but I'm like, that's too wide for me. And if I go into the preview mode, you'll see that that's like, whoa, all of a sudden a huge wall of text. Let's say we want to break that up a little bit. So I'm going to jump back in here, and what I'm going to do is copy it 3 times. You're going to have to trust me here. I know it looks like an even larger wall of text now. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And get rid of these 2. And what I'm going to do is I am going to add a column like this. I'm going to drag it over so it's about 2/3 and 1/3. Now I know it looks like a mess, you just have to trust me here. I'm going to click delete and delete and delete, and now I've got a couple of columns. So what I can do is add an element. I can add an image, and it says put your image here, and I will do just that. I'm going to look for Unsplash, and let's just look for gym again, and pop in an image like this. And what I can now do, basically clone this. I want to show you something that's kind of cool. Click clone. Now you see that obviously it's one side and one side. What I'm going to do is flip this over to be on this side and drag all of that over, and then drag this stuff into the middle over here. Now there's actually easier ways to do this. I just wanted to give you a really quick idea of just how quickly you can play around with it. And what you can also do as well, if you hover over where it's blue or where it's green, the green one is going to be your width. And remember earlier we said whether there's full width, medium, small or large. I can actually come over to the advanced section here, click width, and let's say I want to make it medium wide. That'll just squash it in. Now there is actually another little section that you can create, or a feature. Let's say I click on wide here, add a row, one column, and then add an element. This little area here, image feature, basically does the same thing. So they've even got this side of it built in. There's a lot to play around with in here, and you can customize it to your heart's content. My advice is keep it simple. So I would change this copy a little bit, change this copy a little bit, have a couple of photos of the trainers, and then keep the testimonials as is. And of course I can go through all of this stuff at the bottom, change the logos, change all of that kind of stuff. I can even come up to the settings up here, custom CSS if that's your jam, if you want to import this kind of stuff. A lot of the templates are good enough to go already. In some future videos we'll talk about more content and copywriting, but that's a pretty fast about page, and now you're done. So let's talk about the last page, which is often called a portfolio page. Now, if you're an agency, you'll want to have a portfolio, or if you're any kind of business, you're going to want to show off your results. Personally, I don't like the term portfolio, so I'm going to change this to stories and results. This is basically where you're going to put your testimonials. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to show you what I like a testimonial to look like. I'm also going to delete all of this at the bottom here because we're going to be going into this as a group of testimonials. I'm going to delete this section here. It's basically going to look like an awful, awful website. Now, if I hover over this and click the little plus symbol, I'm going to click a full width website. I'm going to add a row of 5 columns, right? That's a lot of columns, but just trust me. And I'm going to click 2 elements. Now, ideally, your testimonials, you'll have videos. So I'm going to select the video. I'm going to select a subheadline, and I'm going to select a button. Now I'm going to want to fill this page with case studies, stories, testimonials, videos, interviews, anything where I'm talking to customers about their experience. So you could do it like multiple videos like this, or another way that works really well is 2 videos side by side, and then just copying this, and I'm going to click clone like that, and then we basically have tons and tons of videos. So if you check out my website, and you can use this as an example, I've got a video at the top which is kind of like me talking through this page, and then just all of our videos of all of the people and business owners who we've helped double their monthly revenue or whatever it is that you want to do as success stories. You can see it's right here at the top. This is just a super, super simple layout of all the people, and then loads of screenshots as well. This type of thing is really easy to add inside GoHighLevel. And if you want to create a little gallery, it's pretty easy to do. You're just going to grab another column here, add a row, and then just fill these up with pictures, and you're good to go. It doesn't matter if you're an advanced marketer like I am, or if you're a beginner funnel builder or beginner agency or a beginner business. GoHighLevel is basically the platform that's going to help your business reach the next level. And I'm here, Mike Killen at Sell Your Service, to help you increase your sales and improve your revenue. Stay tuned for part 2 as we begin to polish our website. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've got another video here about how to skyrocket your sales by selling to a specific niche. It's critical that you have a particular market that you go after. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that. So go ahead and check out that video on how to skyrocket your sales by choosing a niche. Have courage, commit, and take action.